So, why is communication so important for the parent-child relationship? Let's talk about that.
Because it helps to build a very strong, loving bond. It builds trust. The children can trust you and rely on you. They know that you've got their back. You're listening to them. You're encouraging them to know their self-worth, to see their value. So you're really there to be able to offer a secure blanket, if you like, round them to allow them to explore how they grow up, try different ways, but they know that you've got their back all the time. You're there for them. And they should be your number one priority before yourself, before your partner. They are your number one priority. And parenting doesn't get any easier. You're going to have good days, bad days, and it's for life. And it's for 24/7, all the time. You can't switch off when they like say 6 years and say, I've had enough of this. I think I'll give them back now. I'll give them to someone else. It doesn't work that way. You can't return it.
I don't have children, and my husband and I decided not to have children. One of the biggest reasons was because we realized, we were much older when we got married. We were in our early 30s, and so a little wiser, right, as to how big a responsibility this is, and the way a parent talks to their child can oftentimes condition how they see the world, how they perceive the world, how they envision themselves in the world, how they react to the world as well, right? And so that's where those words and that level of communication is so important. So can you share some common challenges you have observed during your work in?
First of all, I think parents haven't really got a gist or a complete hold or an understanding of their teenager. They haven't earlier on really continued to build a bond to understand their interests, what they like, how they think, their friends. They don't necessarily know who their friends are or anything. And rather than communicating and listening to what their teenager has to say and giving them some sort of, come on, let me hear from you. They were more inclined to sort of be dogmatic and tell them how they should do this, they should do that. So it's a one-sided conversation. It's not a conversation that flows. And that's why they're clashing. They're constantly clashing with each other, and the parent is setting rules without actually sitting down with their teenager and saying, let's discuss what rules we should have for our home, and things like, why do I want you to come back at a certain time? I will explain it to you. Can you see the reasons why? Can you see why I'm afraid? Can you see what I'm worrying about? They don't do it. They just literally say, you'll come at this time. I expect this. But they don't take into consideration anything their teenager has to say. And therefore, the teenager doesn't bother communicating with them. They think, oh, they're not bothering to listen. They just keep telling me this, telling me that. So if I want to go out and stay late, to hell with them. I will. I just switch off my phone. I won't answer that phone. They keep calling me all the time or texting me all the time. Boom, 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 boom. One text, okay, but not like 20. I'm just turning it off. So there's real conflict. And there's conflict also about the parents don't necessarily like their friends, and they show that rather than actually saying, this is your friend, you're seeing them. Let me get to know a little about your friend, invite them in. If you're actually saying, I mean, my mum was doing this. She used to slam the door in my friend's face when they came to ring on the doorbell. And I said, what are you doing? She said, oh, I don't like the way they look. They look like hippies or they're looking like this. And I said, well, she's got long hair like me. My hair's a bit wild, What's the difference? There's nothing. And I just thought this was crazy.
Yeah. So, what I'm hearing here as well is that with the parent, because I mean, being a parent, like I said before, I mean, I'm not a parent. I haven't experienced being a parent, but I did have a parent, right? And so honing our listening skills And parents honing their listening skills is something for sure. I think a lot of parents is a tool that you could improve, right? Our listening skills, parents, listening skills.